Hello, welcome to step-by-step first project tutorial of WinTr SCADA. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to set up Modbus TCP IP communication with WinTr SCADA and how to display tag values on real time on the screen and save and export them in XLM PDF format with very basic way. I'm starting WinTr by clicking its desktop shortcut. To start a new project, I'm clicking New button on the toolbar. This will lead us to project saving dialog box because we must save the project by giving a name when starting a new project. I gave the sample project name to this. After saving, the menu show up at the top, which used for accessing main sections of the WinTr SCADA. I am clicking Connection Manager in this menu. Now we will make PLC connections. In this project, I'm going to connect local Modbus TCP IP simulator. So I'm clicking Modbus TCP IP tab here. I'm creating a new network by right-clicking on the left side of the window. I'm selecting Add here, and my Modbus network has been created. Now I need to configure the network. To do this, I'm right-clicking on the network and select Network Properties. I'm selecting Modbus TCP IP at the top. Now I can change connected network address and TCP IP port. I'll leave them default because this is already my computer address. I'm closing this by clicking OK. After configuring the network, I need to configure connected PLC station properties. I am right-clicking on the station under the network and select the properties under the station menu. The most important station property is station address, because we need to specify an address for each station in our network. In this project, I will connect to address number 1 station, so I don't need to change this. I'm closing this window by clicking OK. Now I'm going to create the tags inside SCADA for reading and writing the station. I'm clicking on the group under the station. At right side, a list show up for the creating the tags. Now I can create the tags by writing the register numbers. Tags automatically created when I wrote the address. I can change the tag names. I'm creating and renaming tags starting from 40,001 to 40,003 as tank temperature 1, tank temperature 2, tank temperature 3. After creating 3 tags, the project is ready for the connection. I'm opening the Modbus TCP IP simulator. When I click on the connect button top of the list, PLC connection will be activated. In this list, the values that I enter to right value column will be written to PLC instantly. Now we can see the values that written to Modbus simulator. 54 for next and 69 for the next. In same way, when I enter the values to simulator, they will be shown in the read value column. 51 for the second and 18 for the last one. I can deactivate the connection by clicking disconnect button. If we want to save these tag values periodically in WinTr SCADA, we should go to tag list tab and specify tags as historical. After specifying tags as historical, the database should be configured. So I am right-clicking on the tag list and selecting SQL tag building. This is the whole thing I need to do in Connection Manager, so I can close it. Now I can start designing the screen. I'm clicking the editors button and select screen designer, new. I am going to create 3 text box objects for displaying and setting 3 tag values. I am right clicking on the empty space on the screen and select Net Components and Text Box. For assigning a tag to text box, I'm selecting Properties, Value and selecting the tag. I'm repeating this for the second and the third text box. And I'm going to add gauges for each tag. Gauge object has powerful visual features and it helps you to make your screen look good. I'm moving and resizing the gauge by pulling its borders. To assign a tag to gauge, I'm right clicking on it and select Properties, Value and Tag. We can open Gauge Objects wizard for making detailed configuration about it. At left side I'm clicking Gauge and Gauge Frame tab and click Glass Effect and Pointers Markers page, Input Behavior tab, selecting Dampening and I'm clicking Finish to close it. Now we have a glass effect on the gauge, and with the dampening feature, value changes will be shown with an pointer animation on the gauge. I will use gauge object for displaying other tags as well. So I'm copying this gauge by selecting Copy from right click menu and paste them. Copied gauges still assigned original tag, so I need to change to tank 2 temperature and tank 3 temperature tags. After configuring the gauges, now I will add a chart for displaying historical tag values. To do this, I'm right clicking and selecting chart. I am moving and resizing it. For assigning tag values to the chart, I'm right clicking on it and selecting Properties, Values Path and select tags for each series. Series 1 for tank 1 temperature, series 2 for tank 2 temperature and series 3 for tank 3 temperature. I'm selecting wizard from chart right click menu for configuring it. I'm selecting appearance at the left side. From border tab, I'm selecting suitable border for my screen. And of course we might want to change series names. I'm changing it as tank 1 temperature, tank 2 temperature and tank 3 temperature. The last configuration I'm going to do about the chart is giving tooltip for the chart. This will be the title of the PDF export. I specified the tooltip and hit the enter and it has green background, means applied the change. Now I finished the designing of the project. I can go to runtime. I'm clicking right top button for going runtime. A warning message display for startup screen. I'm clicking yes. Now we are on runtime. The values we have saved to simulator are displayed here. I'm changing values from the simulator and they will shown on the screen. Chart refreshes itself on each second and we can see dampening animation on the gauge. Of course, I can set the values from the text box on the screen. Values written to text when I hit the enter or leave the cursor from the text box. On runtime, we can export chart data to the Excel file, or we can export the chart as it appears, or we can print it as well. I'm clicking on export Excel and the data is exported to Excel file. I'm again right clicking on the chart and this time click export PDF. I'm writing PDF file name. Now chart exported as a PDF file. We can see tooltip at the top as a title and exporting time date. Now I close PDF file. Another feature of the chart on the runtime is zoom feature. With the zoom feature, I can get specific time datas. I can select start date time and end date time for the historic chart values. When I click OK after specifying date values, related data will be fetched on the chart. I can specify full date here also as a day, month and year. When I click OK, I see the historic values on the chart. Now if I export the chart as a PDF, chart will be exported as it appears. And I change the chart to real-time representation by clicking reset button. In this video, we made a very basic WinTr SCADA project. Thanks for the watching.